All right, week 23, day 5. Sketch a UI that communicates empathy and care. So, the whole purpose of this is just to help people feel seen, supported, and not alone. Show the people using your product, using your service, using your app that, in fact, they are seen and that you understand their context as best as you can, and that you are their partner in moving forward with whatever they're doing here in accomplishing their goals. Some of this can be sort of an external layer. So, mental health check-ins. So, in the instance of a mental health app, this would be a very direct thing to have. But in a social media app, it's sort of indirect. It's maybe unexpected to say, hey, I know you're here primarily to catch up with friends and see interesting things that are happening in the world, catch up on your hobbies, but you've been looking at a lot of things that are challenging recently. Are you okay? And that may be going a bit far, but on the other side of it, you see very often is, hey, you've been here a lot. You've been in social media a lot, and maybe it's time to take a break. And in some ways, this can feel a bit intrusive and sometimes offensive, but it's certainly something to think about. It could be thoughtful error messages. So not only can you say, hey, you've reached an impasse here, but you can't communicate an understanding. Not only is it frustrating to hit this impasse, but recognize that it's potentially a stressful moment. So hypothetically, you get a message from your bank saying, there's been an odd charge, call this phone number. One, that could be part of the phone message, or it could be part of the message, hey, call this phone number. Even better, are typically in this particular instance, it's not a big deal. We've already frozen ability on this transaction. Transaction actually didn't go through, but we want to communicate with you in case this is something you need to be funded, but we also want to protect you in case it's not. Here's the phone number to call. We always have live representatives that you'll be able to talk to within X number of minutes. If not, we'll be in contact you with our minimum SLA, so on and so forth. Just really setting expectations well, but answering all of the concerns that someone might have in that moment. You could also be accessibility first UI, that if you have empathy and care for someone who has who benefits from accessibility measures, that you're actually addressing them in your experiences. And also just language that softens and affirms. So how do we speak to our users in a tone that not only addresses their needs in the moment, but pays heed to the sort of emotions they may be feeling in that moment? So how do we show that we have a sense of urgency in a moment where someone feels something needs to be done quickly? How do we speak softly to someone who's going through something, who we can anticipate is going through a hard time? So in those particular contexts, how do we address their needs well? And as promised this week, the resources, we have 2 topics that should help you right away. You get in and scan, actually 3 that should help you right away. But scan through, look for particular topics within emotional design itself. So this for high-level emotional design, as well as this concept of emotional response. They're both really good. Would be good to go through and learn a little bit about sort of how people experience emotion and how it impacts them as they interact with things as you go through this week's work, as well as the masterclass. If you're getting a taste for it and you want to hear a couple experts speak about it in a really meaningful and inspirational way, we've got this masterclass with Susan and Guthrie. Just dive in there. If you're not a member, it could be one of the ones that you select as you become a member. If you are a member, you can just go in and grab it and take a look. The other is, as a member, you have access to the emotional design course. Really excellent course, and really deep dive into a nice consolidation on the topic and should help you if this is something that you're interested in getting into, or at a minimum, just learning about and garnering interest in it. So, thank you for making it all the way through this week. This was more of a robust topic. These videos are a little bit longer this week, but it's a really important one because I feel like emotional design is not something that we get as much permission to focus on. And I want this week to be you giving yourself permission, me giving you permission, the world giving you permission, or I guess I should say the universe giving you permission to focus on this and really do something that's interesting to help you head in the direction that you want to with your career, with your design practice. So I hope this was fun. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have something really great for your portfolio that you can add in there. I look forward to seeing everyone's work, and as always, congratulations on making it through each of these steps as well as through day 5. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I certainly had a lot of fun putting this together. So we'll see you on week 24.